Hi, it's Paul from Production Expert. Post-production sessions typically require several different reverbs, particularly if you're working on a full-length feature. Different scenes, of course, take place in different acoustic settings, and so the reverb needs to change appropriately on a scene-by-scene basis. A common approach to this is to use multiple instances of reverb plugins and automate sends as required. One potential downside, though, is that this of course uses more CPU power, and on a complex project, you might even need more than the 10 sends Pro Tools provides, meaning you have to be creative with how you get the reverb to change as you move from one scene to another. In this video, I'll be using one of my personal favourite reverb plugins, Cinematic Rooms from LiquidSonics, and I want to show you an alternative method for automating reverbs, applying the automation to the reverb plugin itself, rather than using a large number of sends. In this session, which I've simplified for the sake of this video, we'll be looking at 3 scenes, and I'll be using just a single instance of Cinematic Rooms. It's a 5.1 project, so I'm using a 5.1 version of the plugin on an aux track, but Cinematic Rooms supports surround formats up to 916 for Dolby Atmos. So scene 1 takes place in a lab. Here's some of the dry dialogue.
Sorry I didn't get a chance to say goodbye to you last night. I suspect I may have had a bit too much to drink. Did you get up to anything scandalous? I'm worried about you.
Enabling the send, I've used the bright tile preset in Cinematic Rooms. It sounds like this.
Sorry I didn't get a chance to say goodbye to you last night. I suspect I may have had a bit too much to drink. Did you get up to anything scandalous?
Great, but I know that I need to apply different settings to the scenes we'll look at shortly, so I first need to anchor these settings in for this scene. To do that, I need to automate every single parameter within the plugin. Now, Cinematic Rooms is quite extensive in the settings it provides, but we can automate all of them by holding down what some people call the power claw, which is Control-Option-Command, and then clicking the Auto-Enable button. You'll notice that there's now a tiny green light under each parameter. This indicates that it's enabled for automation, but also because it's green, we know that the track is in read mode. Next, to anchor the settings in for the scene, I'll make a selection which covers the duration of the scene, and then use the Write to All Enable command. If you like menus, you can find this under the Edit menu. There it is. Or, as you can see, there's a shortcut, Option-Command /. Now, nothing particularly exciting has happened, but it has written anchor breakpoints at the start and end of the selection for each and every parameter in the plugin. To understand why this is important, we really need to take a look at another scene. This takes place in a church, and the reverb is now wrong.
I looked, and there before me was a pale horse. Its rider was named Death, and Hades was following close behind her.
To audition alternative presets without battling any existing automation, I'll switch the automation mode on the aux track, housing Cinematic Rooms, to off. And now I can freely cycle 3 presets until I hear one that I like.
I looked, and there before me was a pale horse. Its rider was named Death, and Hades was following close behind her. They were given power over a quarter of the earth to kill by sword.
I'll go with this dark church setting. Once again, I can anchor the settings in for this scene by selecting the scene duration and then doing the Write to All Enabled command. By the way, All Enabled means anything and everything which is enabled for automation in the automation window. In this case, I'm only bothered about the plugin, but I could enable other things if required. Now, switching back to read mode and jumping back to the previous scene, you can see that we've gone back to the bright tile preset we wanted for that.
Sorry I didn't get a chance to say goodbye to you last night.
And moving to the church scene, the setting changes to the one I've chosen for that scene.
I looked, and there before me was a pale horse.
Let's do another one quickly, this tunnel scene. I'll play it dry first of all.
Did Sebastian send you to do his dirty work for him?
I thought it would be best to find you before you found me.
You planning on arresting us?
To save time, I've already chosen a preset in Cinematic Rooms. It's in the chamber category and it's called Chamber Bounce. I'll do Write to All Enabled once again, so Option-Command / and the settings are anchored in for this scene.
Did Sebastian send you to do his dirty work for him?
I thought it would be best to find you before you found me.
You planning on arresting us? Why didn't you kill Sebastian?
So that's one method for automating reverbs using Cinematic Rooms in Pro Tools. It means that I can run fewer instances of the plugin, in this case I was only using one, and take advantage of the ability to recall presets or create my own settings and then have them change on a scene-by-scene basis. Cinematic Rooms is a great plugin for creating very believable sounding room reverbs for post-production. For more information, go to liquidsonics.com. Thanks for watching.